Now we have data visualizations. So sobrang important ito lalo na kapag nag-a-analyze tayo ng data. Bakit? Kasi mas madaling maintindihan ng mga decision makers ang visuals tulad ng charts compare sa mga numbers na nakasulat sa rows and columns. And alam nyo ba na mas mabilis talaga tayong makakuha ng insights kapag meron tayong visuals. Pero hindi lahat ng visualizations effective. Kaya sa chapter na to, matututunan natin ang iba't ibang paraan para ma-visualize yung mga data at kung kailan natin sila dapat gamitin. Ngayon, lilipat naman tayo sa iba't ibang klase ng charts. So, una dito is yung scatter charts na ginagamit para makita yung relationship ng dalawang variables. Ideal itong gamitin kung gusto mo makita if may correlation ng dalawang variables na ito. Ito yung example ng scatter charts. So, this is the scatter chart for San Francisco na electronics store. So, we have yung data niya. Ito yung week 1, number of commercials at sales. So, as we can see here dito sa graph, meron siyang number of commercials na ginamit para sa kanyang x-axis and sa kanyang y-axis is yung sales. So, ito yung magiging reference point natin para sa number of commercials dito sa x-axis. So, sabi dito, ang one commercial is ano yung equivalent niya. Hanapin natin siya ngayon dito sa chart. So, meron siyang 38 and 41. So, it is between 40 and 30. Okay? So, madali siyang maintindihan. And then, dito sa dalawang commercial, ano yung average or yung kanyang sales pala? Ano yung sales niya if dalawa yung kanyang commercials? So, we have, okay, punahin natin yung iba. So, 50 and then 46. So, it is between 50 and 46. Okay? So, yung scatter chart, pinapakita nito yung comparison ng mga data, ng mga multiple variables, and then, ipapakita niya to ng as a point sa loob ng chart. This is the trend line. So, yung trend line, pinapakita niya yung increase or decrease ng certain points sa scatter chart. So, may mga scatter chart na hindi gumagamit ng trend line. Okay? I will show it to you. We will create a simple scatter chart. So, we will use recommended charts. First, we need to select our dataset. Yan. And then, choose recommended charts. We have a lot of options here. As you can see, pwede siya ma-interpret into various charts. Pero, ang gagamitin natin is yung scatter charts. Click OK. So, very simple scatter chart. Now we have the line charts. Ginagamit ito for time series data para makita mo yung trend over time. So, this is an example ng line chart. This one is the monthly sales data ng Kirkland Industry. Ayan. Monthly sales data ng Kirkland Industry. Okay, what do we have here? Ano yung nakikita natin? Meron tayong month, sabi nga month, and then yung sales niya for the month. Okay, sales for the month. So, this is yung graph sa Excel. Okay, pag sinelect niyo yung line graph sa Excel, madaling matrace yung kanyang sales. So, ang tawag dito is line chart. Now, we will create a simple line graph. So, first select the data, choose this line graph under 2D line. And then, we can do something more sa chart nito. First, we need to select the chart element. So, yeah, chart element. So, we can check ano pa yung pwedeng ilagay. So, we can click everything. Pero, syempre, masyado na itong makalat. Now, sa axis title, yan, we have this, and sa chart title, we have this data. So, palitan natin yung y-axis. Lagay natin sales. And then, dito sa x-axis, ilagay natin is yung months. Diba? Mas madali siyang na-interpret. So, this is an example ng line chart, but this time, meron siyang comparison. Yung kanyang South region at yung kanyang North region na sales. Okay? Pwede rin itong maging ibang category. Depende sa available data na gagamitin ninyo. Like, pwede siyang product A or product B. Okay? Pwede rin siya dyan. Ngayon, this is an example ng Kirkland Industries sa kanyang regional sales. Okay? Meron siyang South at meron siyang North. And you can easily interpret dito sa chart na to na both of them nag-decline yung sales ng June and then naka-recover sila by the month of July. Okay? So, naka-recover by the month of July. Then, parehas sila ng nangyari between these months. Bumaba yung sales at tumaas din naman siya by the next month, by July. So, you can now find proofs or find the situation bakit nangyari ito sa kanyang dalawang region during these times. Okay? What makes them recover and what makes them lose money. So, find it out sa kanilang report or situational report na meron doon sa company. Okay. Of course, wala yan sa atin ngayon dito. Pero, charts can give you a guide what to look for. Now, we will create a two-line chart. So, we have the sales from North and South. We will choose the same line chart under 2D line. And then, we can add more information like yung mga axis titles. So, we can change the y-axis title. Gawin natin siyang sales. Okay? You may also change the chart title and the x-axis title. Next is the bar and column charts. Ginagamit ito for comparison ng categories. Mas effective to kaysa sa pie charts kasi mas madali ikumpara ang lengths ng bars kaysa sa areas ng pie slices. So this is an example ng bar charts para sa accounts managed data. So, ang data na meron tayo is yung managers and account managed. So, bawat isang manager, how many accounts yung hawak nila? Okay. So, si Davis, meron siyang 24 accounts. Si Edward, meron siyang 11. Ngayon, gusto natin malaman graphically kung sino may pinakamaraming account. So, we have these bar charts to assess it visually. Yan. So, si Williams, ito yung manager, ito yung accounts managed. Si Williams, meron siyang around 5, tama ba? Ayan. So, we have 6 accounts para kay Williams. At ang pinakamadami is si Gentry. Si Gentry is may 37 accounts. So, madaling maintindihan yung information compared dun sa naka-table lang. This one. Diba? So, isa-isahin nyo pa to, isa-sort nyo, sino may pinakamarami, sino may pinakakonti. So, madaling makita yung pinakakonti kasi single digit siya. Pero itong pinakamarami, paano ko pa nagkamali ka ng tingin, nakita mo 29, pero may 37. Pero kung ilalagay mo siya into a chart, like bar chart, you can easily see the obvious na si Gentry ang may pinakamaraming account sa lahat ng managers na nakasulat dito. This is an example of clustered bar charts. First, we need to select the data. Select the clustered bar charts under 2D bar. And then, we can add more information here. So, check the chart elements. Then, check the axis titles. So, dito sa x-axis, we can change this into account manage. How many account yung manage ng mga managers? So, yan yung data. And then dito sa y-axis, yung mga names, these are the managers. This one is an example ng stock column chart. And stock column chart. So, ang data na meron tayo is yung regional sales data ng Kirkland Industry. So, paano natin babasahin yung ganitong data? Meron tayong legend dito. We have the North and the South regional sales data ng Kirkland Industry. Kanina, di ba, we compared this using the line chart. Ngayon naman, gagamit tayo ng stock column chart. Okay, so balikan natin ang sales nila for the North and South. So, noong January, meron siyang 95 and 40. So, try natin i-add ito. 95 plus 40. So, 135. Ang total sales for the month of January is 135. Okay. So, hanapin natin siya dito. So, we have January. So, let's say ito yung approximate na 135 sa kanya. So, in this 135 na total sales, makikita ninyo ano yung contribution ng North at South. As you can see here, mas malaki visually ang contribution ng South, ng North region pa lang. Mas malaki ang contribution ng North region compared dun sa South region. So, magandang gamitin itong stock bar charts to compare yung dalawang variables or dalawang category base dun sa kanyang total. So, you need to get the total of each of these data nitong dalawang category, North and South. So, get the total. So, this one, 145. And then, yan yung magiging length ng columns. So, dito, by February, meron siyang 145. A little bit shy sa 150. Okay? So, sino may pinakamalaking contribution sa sales? It is the North region compared dun sa South region. So, that's how you look at it. Alright? Now, we will create a stock column chart. First, we need to select the data and then go to the charts. Select the stock column charts under 2D column. And then, we can add more details sa axis title. We can add sa y-axis yung sales. So, these are the sales. And then, sa x-axis, we can change it into months. Also, don't forget to add the chart title. So, wala akong maisip na chart title. So, I leave it as it is. So, we have these bubble charts. Ginagamit ito para makita yung relationships between three variables. So, tignan natin yung example. Now, we have this data from 15 airports. So, gumamit siya ng bubble charts to compare this data. Meron siyang TSA wait time, cheapest on-site parking, and annual enplanements. Kung gaano karaming passengers yung sumasakay sa kanila. Okay, so what do we have here? So, we have these 15 airports. Tapos, on this y-axis, we have the cheapest parking rate. Sa x-axis is yung TSA wait time. Ngayon, yung annual enplanements, kung gaano kadaming sumasakay, yan yung size ng bubble. Kung gaano siya karami. In millions of passengers, naka-specify naman in millions. Okay? So, tingnan natin hanapin natin itong Los Angeles. Ayan. So, meron siyang 36 million. So, siya may hindi naman I think second siya or within that range after the Atlanta. So, yung Los Angeles Airport, meron siyang 36 million, kaya malaki yung bubble niya. And then, ang rate ng parking niya is $12. Nasaan siya? So, ito yung parking rate, di ba? Nasa y-axis, yan. Nasa around 10, yan. And then, anong susunod sa kanya? Yung wait time niya na 6 minutes. Nandito siya sa side na to ng x-axis, yung 6 minutes. So, madaling makita kung gaano kalaki o yung comparison ng tatlong variable. Meron siya sa y-axis, the y-axis, the x-axis, at yung laki ng kanyang circle as that third variable. We'll create a bubble chart. Okay, first, we need to select these three data set. So, may data set tayo sa TSA wait time, sa cheapest on-site parking, and annual enplanements. So, this one is in million. Okay, so we need to select this and then choose this bubble chart under dun sa scatter chart. Yan. Now, we can improve this chart. We can add axis title. So, sa axis title, lagay natin airport comparisons. And then, dito sa y-axis title, we can write here yung cheapest parking. And this one sa x-axis is all about the TSA wait time. Okay, we can check din naman. So, yan. Yung data nito is about the TSA wait time, cheapest on-site parking, and annual enplanements. So, ibig sabihin ng big circle, siya yung may pinakamalaki na enplanements. So, we can check this data yan, under label options and check the Y value. Gamitin natin yung value from cells. And then, we will select the code, the airport code para madali natin ma-identify which circles belong to which airport. Ayan. And then, we can fix this like sa left ba siya or sa center. So, mas maganda kung nasa center siya para identify. Ngayon, yung mga overlapping. So, palakihin natin yung chart para hindi siya masyadong mag-overlap. Yan. So, wala tayong magagawa. Nag-overlap siya. Palitan natin yung data. So, palit tayo sa label options. Saan ba siya maganda? Above or right? Kung sa left. Okay. So, nasa center siya talaga. So, may nag-overlap dito. Yun lang ang problem kapag masyadong dikit yung mga data sa bubble chart is mahirap siyang i-identify. Okay. So, ano ba siya? Saan ba siya data? SLC. Okay, natin yung SLC. 12 million. Gawin natin, halimbawa 11. Nasaan siya? So, nandun pa rin talaga siya. Okay, so that's the drawback ng bubble chart. Yung mga overlapping details. So now we have the heat maps. Ginagamit ito para ipakita yung magnitude ng mga data using different shades of color. So kanina, binanggit na natin ito dun sa pre-attentive elements para madaling makita yung mga data points. Ngayon naman, ito yung binabanggit doon na shades of color. So I'll show you an example. So this is an example na heat map. Okay, para dun sa mga stores. So, this one is yung mga states sa US. So, states. Marami siyang stores sa states. May US states. And then, these are the months. So, ang data niya is naka-interpret na as percentage. Okay. So, what do we have here? Ano yung kapansin-pansin? Ang kapansin-pansin dito is, yan, ito. Lahat ng papuntang negative, 0 to negative value, lahat siya is nasa shade ng red. And makikita nyo din na lahat ng may positive value, kahit maliit yung yan, 2 to 8% is nasa shade ng blue. So, yan yung heat maps. Pinapakita nito ano yung mga values na kailangan ma-alert and kailangan ma-recognize. Okay? So, kapag negative siya, or hindi maganda yung value niya, you can choose different shades of color. Pero this one, the maker of this report chose red as the color for negative data points, and blue ang ginamit niya for positive data points. Now we will create heat maps. First, we need to select this data. Then select conditional formatting, color series, and then we select this color series. So as you can see, lahat ng may negative values is red, lahat ng positive values is blue. Next is we have the waterfall charts. So ginagamit ito to show the breakdown of contributions to the total value over time. Okay, we will compare the increase and decrease of value. So, this is an example ng waterfall charts. Okay? So, as you can see here, let's say dito sa month 1, meron siyang $16,001 na nakuhang revenue. Ibig sabihin, positive revenue siya, positive gross profit. So, meron siyang increase sa kanyang chart. So, positive value. And then, sa month 2, tumaas din. At sa month 3. So, the month 2 starts where the previous month ends. Okay? Natapos yung month 1 niya na ito yung value ng sales niya. Then, sa month 2, dahil nadagdagan pa, kumita pa siya. So, actually, ang sales niya is nandito sa range ng 25,000. Nandito siya sa y-axis ng 25,000 approximate. So, nag-gain pa siya ng 9,000. 9,667. At sa monthly niya, nag-gain pa siya ng 3,000. So, ang kanyang value is between 25,000 and 30,000. Yan yung value ng kanyang gross profit. Ngayon, balikan natin kung saan nag-end na value nandun, nag-start yung current month. Ngayon, dito sa month 3, nagkaroon siya ng decline ng sales. Okay? Nagkaroon siya ng decline sa kanyang gross profit. So, where does it end? Nag-end siya dito sa point na to. May mga faded line, di ba? Sa around 30,000. Ngayon, ang naging gross profit niya is less than 30,000. So, that is negative 3,000 base sa data niya. So, ano ang equivalent sales niya? So, nandito siya sa approximate na 25,000. Ang total gross sales niya is nasa approximate na 25,000. Okay? So, pinapakita dito sa waterfall yung increase and decrease ng sales visually. Tapos, ang total is, of course, iba yung color niya to give emphasis na during this 6 months period, ang naging total ng sales or yung gross profit niya is 26,448. Okay? Yung kanyang accumulated. So, ibig sabihin nito, mamaya makikita ninyo how these figures reflect dun sa mismong table niya. Bakit siya naging 26,000? Of course, meron tayong tinatawag na the revenue minus the cost of expenses. Now we will create a waterfall chart. We only need to dataset yung month tsaka gross profit. You can select this by holding the control button. Then go sa insert, then insert waterfall. Yan. We can improve this table by changing the chart title. So, pwede natin ilagay dyan yung Gossamer gross profit kasi sa kanila naman galing itong data. And then we can add more information by selecting the chart elements. So, add the axis title. Sa x-axis, we can write months kasi it symbolize months naman din. And then, we can remove na rin yung y-axis kasi obvious naman na it's in sales. Yun. Now, double-click the total. Dito sa Format Data Point, set it as a total. Now, we have a full-scale na waterfall chart. And now we have these stock charts na usually ginagamit sa financial data to give emphasis sa high, low, and the closing price. This is an example ng high, low, close stock chart para sa Verizon Wireless. So, we have data here. Ito yung trading day niya. Dates, ganyan. So, we have April 20 to 24 and then meron tayong high, low, and close. Yung high, ito yung highest value. Low is the lowest price per share. Highest price per share traded para sa araw na yon. At yung close, kung ito yung closing value. Yung end of the trading day, ito yung last value traded. Okay. So, let's read this chart. So, base sa chart na to, ang high value is for April 20 is 58.91 and lowest niya is 57 and nag-close siya ng 58. So, tingnan natin, 58.91, ito yung highest. Ang lowest niya is 57.96. So, a little bit below ng 58. Ayan, a little bit below of 58. So, ibig sabihin, within the trading day, maraming nag-trade between this value. At ang binigyang emphasis sa chart na to is the closing value. As you can see, lahat ng closing value is may emphasis sa chart. Kasi yan laging tinitignan ng mga investor. Yung for the day, ano yung closing value ng kanyang price per share. Ngayon, tignan pa natin yung other example to prove to you na ang line na to says yung kanyang trading value. So, dito sa April 21, medyo mahaba yung range niya. We have 58 tsaka 56. So, 58.04, nandito siya sa range ng 58. Yan yung highest. At ang kanyang lowest is 56.72. So, a little bit high of 56.50. So, we have this range. So, ito yung range natin ng trading ng price per share for April 21. And ang mahalaga is yung closing value ng price per share which is 56.82. So, that's how you read this high-low close stock chart. So, we will create now a stock chart. So, under Insert, choose this stock chart. Yan, high-low close na chart. And then, we can improve this chart by adding labels. Okay. So, in these labels, makikita natin high, low, and close. But ang pinaka-importante lang talaga is yung close. So, we can delete the series, yung high, and delete the series ng low. So, yan. Ang may mark lang is yung close series. And then, change the chart title. Stock ba siya ng Verizon stock price. Yan. We also have this specialized visualization. So, una dito is yung Chronoplet maps. Ito yung mga maps na may different color shades to show values in each region. So, ibig sabihin, totoong mapa. And then, yung size ng mapa, yung kanyang mga borders, may meaning within, inside. So, let me show you. So, this is an example ng Chronoplet map. Okay, Chronoplet. Lapit na sa akin. Chronoplet map ng US displaying yung median income by state. Ano yung median income? So, balikan ninyo yung lesson last time. Median is yung nasa gitnang value. Okay, the median income is 83,076. So, this is the annual. $83,000. Tapos, ang minimum value niya is $44,000. So, ito yung median niya. Ito yung range niya. Okay? And then, what does it says? Sa lighter shade ng blue, ibig sabihin niya, nandito siya sa range ng 44,000. So, we have these lighter shades of blue. At yung darker shades of blue is nasa range ng 83,000. So, mas malaki yung kanilang median income. Yan. So, nadidistinguish natin yung characteristic ng bawat state sa mapa by using Chronoplet map. Pwede rin siyang hindi median income, pwede siyang poverty level, pwedeng unemployment rate. Ibig sabihin lang nun, we have the profile ng bawat state or bawat region, and these are their similarities. Or ito yung averages between them. These are the medians between these states, between this region. So, maganda ang paggamit ng Chronoplet map to show yung distinction ng bawat state to each other. And now we have these cartograms. Ginagamit ito to display data kung saan yung size of the region is proportional to the variable being measured. So, let's see. So, this one is a cartogram example kung saan meron ng symbols, meron ng legends yung bawat places sa map. So, yan, as you can see, ang ibig sabihin ng mga letters na to is the state sa US. Okay, let me see kung may ma-recall ako. Probably itong WA is Washington, then we have California, and then Ohio, so on. So, may mga meaning itong mga letters na to. Kumbaga, may symbols and may legends. And then, must define yung colors. Ayan. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legends base dun sa color shades na to. So, may 5 color shades. You can easily identify which is which. Like for $40,000 a year. Usually kasi kapag nagdi-describe sila ng salary sa US, that's annual income. So, the lightest is $40,000. So, is this Mississippi? Okay, so meron siyang 40K. Ito yung median income niya. Yan, median income sa state ng Mississippi is 40K. How about the darkest shade of purple? 70K. We have this New Jersey. So, 70K. Ganyan. Okay, so that's how we read this equal area cartogram. Okay? Equal area. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pinakita dito yung size ng state compared dun sa Chronoplet map. So, this one is equal area siya kasi ang mahalaga dito, ang binibigyang emphasis is the median income ng state, hindi yung size ng state. So, by using 2 or more charts and graphs, we can create a dashboard. Ito yung laging binabanggit sa mga lesson, data dashboards. So, we have here yung stack column chart. We have the bar chart na nasa upright position. And then, another bar chart na naka-left align. Another types of bar chart and another types of column charts. Okay? So, kahit yan lang yung gamitin nyo, meron na kayong data dashboards kasi it represents the summary of your data. It emphasizes yung mga data set and data points na meron kayo para sa easy interpretation ng data ninyo and your reports.